Outer Orange. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna do something a little different, something I haven't done yet actually on the channel. We're gonna do a top 5 cards that I relied on in 2020. The year has pretty much been over and it's 2021 now, but I actually haven't done a video like this. DifferentFight recently released a video within the last 24 hours of his top 5, and he actually mentioned in the video of other content creators potentially doing this if they want to. And I thought I'd join in on the fun and tell you guys about the top 5 cards that I relied on to kind of get me through 2020, and cards that I used to just really have fun and that really amplified my decks that I play, all this fun stuff. So let's go on into it and discuss the top 5. Yay! So my number 5 is kind of a weird one. A lot of people are gonna be like, why? But it's mostly just because it was just really fun to play around with, and it was kind of at the beginning of a mechanic that kind of really helped, and I can't wait to see more of these types of cards. And it's pretty much Power Rise Elixir, a very, very simple card. It's pretty much just a counterblast 2 to get 20k. I loved throwing this card into decks and pretty much seeing how it works, like how it changes the playstyle. And this card really makes end of stage decks a lot better. For those of you who play end of stage with Pale Moon, you know adding that 20k onto him just makes him way more lethal with that Senator Restraint, and on top of going 16 crit and everything. This card, weirdly enough, it works, and I didn't think it worked until I actually tried it. And this is just one of those cards that you can just throw into pretty much any deck and see how it works, especially decks that don't rely on counterblast like end of stage. End of stage doesn't care about counterblast, so this card is actually just really nice, just throw in there and do fun stuff with. And I just really like that these cards exist because you can just throw them into any deck and see what they do, and that's why it's my top 5 as it came out 2020. On number 4, a little bit more understandable. We're going back to like more cards that you'll commonly see, but it's gonna be from Colorful Pastorelle, Caro. So this is the grade 2 specifically, and her skill is from hand. You Soul Blast 2, and you search for the same grade 3 that is your Vanguard, and you put it into your hand. This made Riviere so much more lethal. It makes Pacifica way better. It makes Coral way better. At the moment anyway, of 2020, this card is pretty much a staple at a 2 or 3. You kind of need it to find your targets to make all your turns just better, especially stuff like Pacifica. Pacifica really relies on this card. Riviere used to really rely on this card until they restrained it. Without the restraint, I think before the restraint, this card is like pretty much a must. Putting this in and seeing it and getting your grade 3 and just cycling through really fast was just nice. Having the grade 1 Riviere is good and all, but this kind of really pushed it because this guarantees you the grade 3 as long as it's in your hand. As long as you have it, you can use it. So that being said, Caro, really good. I think the only place that card doesn't belong in is, weirdly enough, Melody, because they already have a grade 3 that does the same thing. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 3 is no other than, and he has a long name, White Legion Sailing Ship Bad Bounty. Bad Bounty is an amazing card, and of course I got the special SR version of it and everything. I actually have 2 copies. I'm gonna flex on you guys. I don't flex on you, but I do have another one because I absolutely love this card. This card is so generic in Grand Blue. It just makes it so easy to just restand again. The card to go to, it pretty much made all the strides even better, as you literally, its skill says to ride a grade 3 from drop zone as stand, and you're going again. This card is just so lethal. I love it. Like, when they announced this card, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, and it's just so beautiful. Like, this card has some amazing, I know you can't really tell with the webcam, but this card has some amazing looks to it. It's an absolutely amazing card. It definitely made the engine and premium of Grand Blue even more entertaining and more fun and more interactive, as you can pick any grade 3 from your drop and ride on top of it, and you have another attack, and you can just really end your turns really even faster. Grand Blue usually runs like 12 crit, so this is just more ways to get crits out, more ways to make your rear guards even more lethal, and I think this card's amazing. And as grade 3s keep coming out, like more things that you can do with grade 3s, this card is just going to get progressively better, or worse potentially, but normally better. The more stuff we get, the more stuff you can use this to use it with the grade 3s. So good card. Very, very, very awesome staple in my opinion. So very good. It made me enjoy premium a lot more with Grand Blue. I already play a lot of it as it is with my buddy, but it made it even more fun. Thank you, Bad Bounty, for existing. Thank you for the release of it. Really fun card. Thank you for premium collection. Going on to our next card. It's kind of like one of many, but I guess the main one. This is Steam Breath Dragon. the grade 3 searcher for Gear Chronicle, or in a better aspect, more other grade 3 searchers as well can kind of go along with this. This is kind of for everyone, but this card makes the Chrono Jet and the Chrono Tooth Tiger decks just so much better. In my opinion, because it pretty much, this card made it so that you can only run 4 grade 3s and get away with it pretty much, and this could be said again for like MOB and like other clans that are just so heavy on searching and finding their main piece and only rely on that 1 grade 3 in order to get through their pretty much their game plan. But this card I think is really good and really strong. There'd be the 13k beat stick that it is. It's just really nice, and the discard for it is just so easy. You can get that 5k really easily, and I just think the card itself just does so much for the clan, and I think it'll keep doing stuff for the clan because it's really generic, and discarding is pretty common in Gear Chronicle anyway, so you'll see it a lot unless you're going the bind engine. But even in the bind engine, this stuff discards, so you'll still be seeing it, and it works in Tigers, it works in Jet, it just works, and it'll keep working in the future as well. It's just like overall good card. And as I said, this could be said even for the other ones as well, like Pale Moon or Grand Blue, whatever it is that you're playing. Grade 3 searchers are nice. Like I run my grade 3 searcher in end of stage just so I don't have to ride any other grade 3 or rely on Starry Poppy or rely on anything. I just rely on end of stage and this card to get my everything I need, and it's just so nice. They're just really nice cards to have. I think the grade 3 searchers are pretty much the new perfect guards that we've been seeing that like were really high in price now, but the searchers are kind of in that spot too. But other than that, Steam Breath Jackin, thank you. You made me enjoy Chrono Jet a lot more, and you made me enjoy Tigers a lot more, and made Gear Chronicle just a better clan overall. Thank you, Steam Breath Dragon. Lastly, this is my final card, and probably an obvious one, I would have to say. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you won't be surprised to see this, but for those of you who are newcomers, get ready for him. Here he comes. Colombard! Colombard is just a really well-rounded card. He made Grand Blue just, well, A, this is beautiful. This is a very pretty card. But B, the skill of the card is very simple. You pretty much counterblast search your deck for anything, you mill it out, and then you call something from your drop zone to the board. And just that in itself is just a really good mechanic, because Grand Blue has, in standard, has not had a way to mill out whatever they want and call it out at all. Like, it has been really RNG. Like, you Necromancer mill, you Rune Shade mill, you Navigator, whatever you want, you mill, but you don't know what you're milling. you're just kind of guessing and hoping that you don't mill all 16 of your crits like in the first like 20 mills. You know, you're just kind of going for it. So that being said, this exists now, and it just made everything so much better. But prior to Griechi, there hasn't really been that many great cards. I will stand on this hill for a while, but I actually think Necromancer is a great card, and I will stand on that hill for, I don't know, until something comes out that's better than Necromancer, that's not Night Rose, because I don't think Night Rose is bad. I like Necromancer more, just because as a Grand Blue card, I think Necromancer is the definition of what Grand Blue is, whereas Night Rose is just more like swing, grr, linear, blah blah stuff. But anyway, Colombard. Colombard really propelled the deck to where it needed to be. Colombard made it so that we can multi-attack. Colombard made it so that we can have lethal skull dragons. Colombard made it so that ghost ships can just fall into our drop zone, and then we can call them back out and draw even more. Colombard does all this. Colombard is just overall a huge staple, and it will continue to be a staple for a while. I think its only downside is that it gains no power on its own. It relies on other things to give it power for it to have power, but it does so much other things that doesn't even really matter. But it's just overall a really good card. I think it made the entire clan so much better, and every time new cards will come out in Grand Blue, I believe this card will be able to synergize really well with it, as it literally lets you pick whatever you want, mill it out, and call it back out. So that in itself is already amazing, and I hopefully in the future we get more ways of that kind of synergy, like more ways to selectively mill like Premium currently does with Omadiah. Omadiah lets you mill selectively really nicely and really well, and I hope to see more of that in Grand Blue, like Colombard, or just more interactive ways to be able to maybe selectively mill but do something weird to do it. I'm really excited. Overdress has been coming out with some really amazing cards, and I hope whatever the Grand Blue stuff will add on to the synergy of like all this creativity that they've been doing. So hopefully we'll see more of the selective milling and Colombard kind of style of Grand Blue, because it's just really fun to play when you got to think through your drop zone and plan what you're milling, and just makes it more fun. But that's pretty much my top 5. I do have an honorable mention, just one. It is Necrobone. It was really hard for me to decide between Necrobone and Columbard, as Necrobone is a really, really heavy carry, especially late game. As we all know, Grand Blue can deck out. This enables you to not to deck out as you put it into the bottom, or alternatively, if you are just out of counterblasts, like you had to use all your counterblasts the turn before because of Night Rose or whatever, and now you're out of counterblast. This is free. It's just a discard. And when have we ever been upset about discarding a Grand Blue? Never. We don't get upset about discarding Grand Blue because you discard the things you want to call back out. You discard your Skull Dragon, you put this at the bottom, you call it back out. It's easy. It's free Skull Dragons. So this card was my honorable mention. I don't know if this card will always be a staple in Grand Blue, as it's a very, very late game card, whereas I feel like this card will kind of be around probably for a while. So that I feel like both of these cards are good. I do think this card kind of was the beginning of the propelling, and it kind of made this card better. I feel like if this card didn't exist, this card wouldn't be as good. But that's just me. That's just my opinion on it, but that's why this is an honorable mention. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. That was my 2020 top 5 cards that I relied on to make my decks better, my premium decks, my standard decks, whatever it is. Just cards I use to just kind of have more fun in Vanguard, because Vanguard is really fun, and I like it, and I can't wait to see all the new stuff that's coming. I've been very excited. I'm slowly becoming a Royal Paladin player, and I don't know how this is coming out, but I'm slowly turning into a Royals player, and all the Royals stuff got revealed. I'm just so hyped and excited for all the new stuff. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for me. I have nothing else for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed my top 5. Tell me how you feel. Do you feel like these cards also benefited you or not? You know, what are your top 5? Feel free to comment. Tell me. Feel free to talk to me. All that fun stuff. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, DifferentFight, for letting us, other people, be able to do stuff like this, by the way. And I'll keep his channel in my description. I don't know if you guys need it, because I feel like everyone in the Vanguard community knows he exists. But just in case, I'll put it down there for you guys, so you guys can hop on over his channel and see his top 5 cards that he relied on. But other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Peace out. Das vidanya. Bye. Thank you. And until next time.